I think there's there's a lot of intrigue. A lot of intriguing games that are getting a lot of pub. Cedar Hill Midway is another one.
Yeah.
Here are some that I don't think are getting the pub that it is. Let's start at Austin's Monroe Stadium, 7:30 p.m. Friday night. 6A Division. Is this Division 1 play? I should look that up.
No, it should be Division 2, right?
You're
because,
right. Yes,
Vandegrift. Yeah.
6A Division 2 play is pitting the San Antonio Johnson Jaguars against the Austin Vandegrift Vipers.
Yes.
And
nice alliteration there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
This game is really intriguing to me. Vandegrift, if you haven't paid a lot of attention to them, they have struggled a bit in their jump up to 6A.
Right.
And a lot of the reason has been that they're like, think back to last year and what was the defining characteristic of that 5A Division 1 semifinalist? Regional finals.
Regional finals. Yeah.
The defining characteristic was offense.
Yeah.
It was a big-time offense.
Right.
They still have Alex Fernandez, but for some reason, things just haven't gone the way that they have. They haven't had those secondary weapons.
Right. I mean, they had a great running back and wide receiver tandem last year, so it's not that surprising.
And so now they take on a San Antonio Johnson team that I think is a bit of a mirror image of them. This is a Johnson team that does not score a ton. They win with defense. And so I think we could be seeing and there was a moment there, I'll tell you, that there was a moment early in the year when they remember, Johnson's the one team to beat Cal Allen.
Right.
And there was a moment there where they were 3-0 going into a game against O'Connor, and people were thinking, looking around going like, is this the best team?
They've got it in them, right?
They absolutely do, and Rod Redden always gets these boys ready to go. I'm very excited to see what comes out of Johnson and Vandegrift. I think it could be, for two teams that I think are known for their offenses, I think this could be a very low-scoring, something like 17-14 game.
For sure, I could see
that.
So
yeah. Get out to Austin's Monroe Stadium on Friday night if you have the means. It's going to be a great one. In the 5A, I love this game. In 5A Division 2.
This is going to be interesting.
So, people know Mansfield Timberview.
For sure.
Okay, Mansfield Timberview's made the playoffs out of a very difficult district. And they've got 4 losses on the year, which seems like a lot, but when you consider one of them's to Frisco Lone Star, one of them's to Highland Park, one of them's to Mansfield Legacy, and the other one is to Lancaster. Okay?
Those are great teams.
Those are 4 really, you hate to say salty losses, but that's exactly what they are. And so I understand that I think they are a team that is better than their record indicates.
For sure.
I don't know if they've beaten a great team yet, but I think you can squint and say, you know what, all of their losses have been very good. Jalen Knox, their wide receiver, has been great. They've got a pretty solid defense led by their cornerback Trey Davis. Yeah. So now they take on Burleson Centennial. And look, I understand if you have not heard of Burleson Centennial. They are a pretty new program. I believe they're in their 4th year they're in their 4th year as a varsity program. So I understand if you haven't heard of them. That's fine. But the Spartans, I think, are a deep sleeper in 5A Division 2. I really like this team. First, for 2 reasons. One, they play good defense. Okay? This team tends to play pretty good defense. They've got a couple of playmakers. It's a playmaking defense. And secondly, and this is the big one, and this is something you're going to hear me say a lot, Burleson Centennial runs a very difficult offense to game plan for. Burleson Centennial operates out of the flexbone offense, okay? And I will tell you that of all the good teams that Timberview has played, 0 of them run the flexbone. It is an old-school offense, but Peyton Strambler, their quarterback, is in complete command of this offense. I think that the winner of this game has a great shot at making the regional final. I'm really intrigued to this game. I think that I picked Burleson Centennial because I really think that flexbone offense is really hard to game plan for. But I'm thrilled with this game. I think this game is going to be fantastic. 7:30 p.m. Friday night at Mansfield's Newsom Stadium. Should be fun. In the 4A ranks, I am stunned that nobody's talking about Springtown Alvarado.
It's going to be a good one.
This is a really good one. Pojo Magic going up against Alvarado, 2 teams that are no strangers no strangers to success, and especially for Springtown, a 5A drop down. They've really hit the gas offensively. Things are going very good for Brian Hewlett and company. Their quarterback, Caleb Chesney, has been outrageous. He's thrown for 2,400 yards and 33 touchdowns. He's got, let's see, how many receivers do they have over 100 yards? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 receivers over 100 yards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 with at least one receiving touchdown.
Nice.
How about that? They spread the ball around. The guy to watch in this one is probably Eric Antonucci. He's their number one receiver. But Springtown can score.
Yeah.
Alvarado, on the other hand, Alvarado's probably going to want to win a little bit lower scoring. This is a defense that has really dominated things so far. But the other thing is that they run the ball really well. This is an Alvarado team that relies on their running back Blake Henderson to get a lot of their tough yards. He's an 1,000-yard rusher already. This is a ball control game. If Alvarado can hold on to the ball for long stretches of this game and keep the ball away from what's been a very explosive Springtown offense, I think the Indians could come out with a win. Also, it's Indians versus Porcupines, and if you don't like that, I mean, come on, man.
Come on.
You got to like that. All right. Meanwhile, let's get to 3A. Okay. Tidehaven and Florence. This is, I think, super under the radar, but this Florence team fascinates me, okay? They kind of sneak into the playoffs at 3-2. And or at 3-2 in district, 5-5 overall. And you look at their records and you go, okay, well, I mean, what's their deal? The thing is, they had a stretch in the middle of their season, basically September, where they looked horrifying. They looked really bad. They lose to Holland, they lose to Salado, they lose to Marion, and they're not the kind of losses that you go, ooh, man, one or two plays goes our way and we win those games. They got blown out. But something changed in them. They beat Johnson City on the road. They lose by 3 to Blanco. Then they beat Comfort, they beat Rogers, and then they get drummed by Lexington, but everybody's getting drummed by Lexington. Right. I think this team is kind of peaking right now. My question is going to be, can their offense get enough over the top against what's been a very good Tidehaven defense? That's my big question here. Tidehaven, if you haven't paid attention to them, Tidehaven's basically got a loss to Bowling, very good team.
Yes.
East Bernard, very good team. That's
Both
it.
Very, very good teams. Yeah.
I'm very interested in this. I think you got to consider Tidehaven your favorite here, but there's a lot of upset potential here for Florence. And finally, down in the 2A ranks, Clarendon and Wheeler tonight at Wildcat Stadium in Amarillo. Clarendon and Wheeler. Where is Clarendon's head right now? Uh-huh. So Clarendon started the year 8-0. Everything's looking great. Everything is all sunshine and daffodils, right? That Clarendon's looking great. The defense had given up 62 points through their first 9 games.
Tough district.
Everything's wonderful.
Yeah.
So then they lose to Memphis.
Yeah.
Okay, Memphis wins the district.
Yeah.
And then they lose to Wellington.
Yeah.
And so this is a team that had not lost a game all year and then loses their last 2. And if you are believers in momentum, then momentum is obviously very clearly not on this side. And I will tell you, they are going up against a Wheeler team that I think can hurt them. This is a Wheeler team that has a number of weapons that I think if they are not careful and Clarendon comes into this game flat, I think Wheeler has a chance to really turn this bracket upside down because they've got a number of great playmakers. Holden Guest at the quarterback spot, a little bit undersized, but a guy that I know people out there in West Texas rave about. Just watch out for this game because Clarendon may be spiraling here, and they could go from 8-0 to first-round cannon fodder in a hurry, and that would be a really tough way to end a season. So watch out for those. Those are my Hipster Texas high school football games. Which games are you most looking forward to? Let us know. #DCTF Live.